Hey, what's going on, Uproar Live? It's good to see everybody in the chat rooms this evening. Do me a favor, give me a wave real quick. I'm watching. I like to see who's represented in all the midweeks, and I just want to welcome anybody that's tuning in for the first time. We have a special midweek presentation. Next week, I'll be back online. God has already given me a word that I can't wait to share next Wednesday. But tonight, we have a special presentation. A few of our leaders and team members, they gathered just to talk about our anniversary and the meaning and the impact that Uproar has had on their lives. And we played it at our celebration party last Friday. And I said, you know, more people need to see this because God has impacted so many lives. Give me a wave if God has used our ministry to impact you. Yeah, God has impacted so many lives, and I just thought together as a family, we would just sit online wherever you're watching from, wherever we're watching from, and just reflect on the last 17 years of all that God has done here at Uproar. Also, many of you, and I want to say thank you to those that have already given, but many gave towards our celebration or anniversary offering. Many gave large amounts. Some gave $170, some gave $1,700, and some were not able to give that and gave $17. But I challenged everybody on Sunday to give on your level, but give with expectation. Your seed here is going into good soil, and we've got so much more to do over the next 17 years and beyond, and we could not do it without you and your generosity. So just take a few moments as we prepare ourselves to get your seed together. And I'm believing that as God has placed you here and we enter into a next chapter, that you have your fit in the next chapter, and God is going to do something amazing in your life as he is moving and opening up doors here at Uproar. So thank you. And I'm going to lift up our seeds in prayer, and then I'm going to get you over to our special presentation tonight. Dear Father, I thank you in advance for everybody watching that is sowing into this moment, Lord. Whether it's $17, $170, or $1,700, or maybe you're touching somebody's heart to give $17,000. Lord, you've given us so much, and you've been so good to us, and where much is given, much is required. So, Lord, I thank you in advance for everybody sowing into our first offerings of a new season and a new year here at Uproar. Bless everybody, Lord, that's sowing. And as we come together tonight just to reflect on all that you've done, let us get excited about all that you're about to do in this next year and this next chapter. It is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Well, once again, thank you for having my back, for getting behind the mission and the vision of the church that God has called us to build. I've seen every offering sown towards this. I've been personally praying for everybody that has sown into this moment. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And on behalf of God, I thank you as well. But I want to get you to the presentation. So here it is. Check it out.
Yeah. So I wonder, I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, 17 years ago today, can you remember what you were doing?
I need a date.
Yeah,
What's
today.
2026 minus 17?
2009.
Yes.
2009.
Yeah, 2009.
Mm-hmm.
19.
Mm-hmm.
Was
What-
it
what
19?
year?
No,
No,
29.
17.
Oh my
We
gosh.
clearly can't do math.
We cannot.
I'm going to ask a different
2009.
question.
What
Were
were
we
y'all
in
doing
school?
in 2009?
July 2009.
I was in school.
I was graduating
2009, yes.
high school.
I was in my junior year of college.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. College boy.
Second year of college. 2009 or 2019? Because I am
Not
I'm
2019.
Which one?
Not
2009.
2019. 2019 was 17 years ago. We have problems.
We have a problem. Okay, 2009. Yes, I was in the second year
Nice.
of college. You know, eating ramen noodles and trying to make it.
Hey,
I
there's
love
just
that.
too much. All right, that's cool. Okay, if your 17-year-old self could ask you one question today, what would it be?
Did we survive?
My 17-year-old
Did we make it? I think my 17-year-old self would ask, I think she would ask me, like, did we succeed? You know?
Yeah.
Because, when you're younger, I feel like it's almost a little bit easier
Yeah.
to, like, be in school and succeed in things. But once you're out in the world, success is so much different.
Yeah.
And I think I would want to look at my however year-old self and say, oh, yeah, she did her thing.
Yeah. I love it. What about you?
I think for me, my 17-year-old self would probably ask, do we have all the things? I feel like, when I was 17, I was so absorbed with the success track.
The big dreams.
Right, the big dreams, the American dreams. And that little 17-year-old boy, tell him to hush right now.
I love it. Which actually is what's really, really neat. I was going through some things earlier today, and actually it was really cool. It was a letter, and it said, "Don't open until you graduate college," which would have meant that it was 2009, and that would have been my 17-year-old self because late birthday. So I was 17 when I graduated high school, and it said a whole lot of things, and I teared up a little bit. But then at the end, I was like, "Yep, that's still my personality," and it said, "Good luck trying to figure out this thing called life," and I was like, "That sounds like me. That sounds like me."
I love that so much. I do.
Yeah. What about you, Colleen?
So me, for my 17-year-old self, she would ask, "Are we happy?" That's exactly what she would ask. She would ask, "Are we happy?"
Yeah.
We would tell her absolutely.
Yeah.
Very
cool. What about you?
That's a hard question. That is a hard question, but it's like a combination of all of you alls, because what was I doing at 17? Wilding out. So I don't know if she would have been in the mindset to ask any questions, but I would tell her that we made it, we are happy, and that you can relax. Just calm down. It's all going to work out. Just relax, take a breath, and trust God it's going to be okay. So I don't know if that Amaris was in the mindset to ask any questions, but I would definitely give her some advice.
Yeah. No, I love it. And I think all of these questions that we think we would have asked each other or would have asked ourselves today makes perfect sense. Yeah. And when you think about 17 years and 17 years of ministry, when you started, you may not have started at year one, but when you came in along the journey, there were so many journeys that came before you and so many journeys that came after you. And so 17 years of ministry has just been a wealth of challenges, a wealth of fun times, a wealth of happy moments, a wealth of, are we going to make it? Like, there's just so many things that come along with just the journey of ministry. And so when we get to celebrate that, it's looking back on what will we have done as our 17-year-old self, right? And when we look back at what the church has done, and for our ministry to look back and say, look at how much we have done in 17 years. And it's just so incredible. Now, Jamel, you've been with the church how long?
Since 2019.
Okay. So that would be
coming up on
7 years. 7 years.
That's
and then Modesty, you've been homegrown.
Yes, been here.
Been here. Yeah.
I would have to say, to your point of just what we accomplished over the years, I think one of the cool things is just the togetherness through every season. Like you said, whatever season you've been in, you are a part of Impact. But every single season, I've seen it. We've always just been together, doing this, causing an uproar, doing outreach. And I think that's one of my favorite things about this ministry is that whatever we do together. We do it as a family, and we give God the glory for it. So
that's right.
It's been great.
That's all right. And then for you, Amaris, you've been
I think around the same time as Jamel, 2019, started coming in 2019.
Yeah.
Serving in, 21?
Yeah.
2021, yeah. So whatever that math amounts to, that's how long I've been here. But it's been an amazing ride.
Good. And then Colleen.
Love it. Yeah. So I would say the 17 years, I got saved on my second service. My second service was July 19th, 2009. I still have the salvation card. So the 17 years. Now, it wasn't consistent. I disappeared after quite a few services.
They don't gotta know that.
Quite a few services.
Full disclosure.
Yeah. Life hit me. I came running right back along with an additional child.
Yeah.
And then I was set.
It's the journey. It's the journey. And it always brings me back to that first moment of like recognizing, right, that this was the ministry. And for you, this is the ministry. Maybe not. No, it definitely is, right? And then, you know, for everyone else who may have had, you know, a similar journey. But it's really cool to kind of look back at those moments and say, man, how did it all start?
Yes.
Because we all came in at different times and different points in the ministry's history. And I think for me, it was just the first experience of this is something I've never seen before. And again, some of my background is very, very traditional church. And so coming into something that had lights and what else? Had all of the different loud music.
Because you came in at the theater.
Yeah.
Right, the theater.
You had the little wavy man outside,
Yes,
and
I
I was like,
The inflatable arm flailing
inflatable
TV.
guy. That's right. That's right.
Now, do you remember? I don't know if you would remember this, but in the AMC theater, I know Colleen will remember it. We had Judah the Lion every once in a while. Do you remember?
Yes, we had him at Bay Meadow too.
Oh, yeah, Bay
I have
Meadow,
a
that's
picture
right.
with him at Bay Meadow.
All right.
I do. Yeah,
we had Judah the Lion for the kids.
Yeah,
We had literally somebody dressed up in a lion suit, and that
Yeah.
was Judah the Lion.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you would remember that because that was like AMC as well. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I don't think Judah was around when I
He
was
probably
around.
wasn't.
Yeah. Or I was just so distraught that I was like, I'm coming in with a focus to find God.
Yeah.
I can't see the lions. I've seen enough lions and tigers and bears at this point. And so I just thought it was so cool coming in and just thinking, okay, well, what is this? It's new, it's fresh. And I remember that first service. And Pastor was teaching on Samson. And I just remember it came to one point in the service where he held out his hand and he said, you know, sometimes you'll just need the lad to help guide you to, the next portion of your life or what it is that you're supposed to go through. And I don't know what it was, but before then I was like bouncing around from church to church for weeks because I was like, Lord, listen, I just need you to give me a sign that whatever ministry you want me to be a part of, and I will plant myself there. And I remember so clearly that I felt like that was like God's confirmation that this is your place. And I was like, okay, well, I'm still filling out this pastor. I mean, this was a great word. And I just felt like it was that overwhelming confirmation that like this is your place. So I don't know if any of you kind of recall your first like moment of this is my church, this is my ministry, this is my pastor, and what that was like.
I think I have a similar experience to you, right? I remember coming in and going through the VIP doors. You all remember that? You walk through almost like this little small hallway, and then afterward, especially if you come, on time for worship, you get the fog screen and everything like that, right? And it was such a wonderful experience, and I was just like, wow, this is new, and it was fresh to where I was in life. Similar to you, I'm used to the traditional churches, but it was something that was speaking to me from my generation. And I remember, of course, we all came in, we heard the word from Pastor, and it touched us. It was an encouragement to us. But then also I knew when it was my church, when I realized that Pastor was giving me a place to, one, serve God, and then also wrestle and work out my relationship with God.
Yep, that's good. I love that.
I love that.
I remember mine.
We'd love to hear it.
I don't remember the first time I came, but I remember when I knew it was my church. And like Ursula, I'd been looking around. I went to a couple of churches for a while, and I was just like hanging out there. It's like, you do the things, and it's like, okay, great. We do this on Sunday. We take the kids. And I think I Googled this place. It was on a short list. I had like 3 churches that I want to go to in the area. And I came, and I can't tell you I remember that first service. But I remember when I missed the service.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like garbage. I was like, what happened this week? What is going on? And I was like, I didn't go to church. And this was the first church I remember that Pastor broke down the word in such a way where I could take notes and I could go back and reference those notes. And I've grown up in church, okay? Born into the church, came out in the church, all right? And I've never listened to a pastor in that sense. Yeah. Like you hear the word, you get excited, you clap, you go home, and it kind of falls off of you a little bit. But I was taking notes on my phone, and I was like, oh, he is teaching. This man has points. There's A, B, C, and D. I can do this. And I remember the first week that I missed, I was like, oh, no. I have to go back. I have to go back. And ever since then, probably only missed like a couple few where I was working or like out of town. But that's what confirmed it to me, just the need to get filled up, but also to have things that can take me throughout the week. And I was just like, yep, that'll do it. That's it. And I've been here ever since.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's so powerful, too. And it's powerful when you don't go. Because then that's when you really realize that that is the confirmation. For me, I need to be back in the building. I need to be back doing something. And I love what you brought up, right? Like, it was also a space to come in and you could work out your salvation and work out your walk with God, but also serve in a meaningful way.
Yes.
And I think another point that was really like confirmation for me is I love helping people. And so the outreach side of things.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, churches do outreaches all the time, but it was the consistency and just the manner in which we were going about it. It wasn't just something that we did to check the box. Like, that was the DNA of our ministry.
Yeah.
And so it was like, well, if he can help me here, then we have to take this out and be able to share this with people. And so, to your point, just figuring out a place that awakens something in you that, like, God genuinely wants you to go out and help people and not just work out your salvation for you, but for those who's tied to you as well.
That's right. He's the God of everyone.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And it's really big. You notice the impact, the emphasis on serving here, because at some point we all got the bug, right? We all got the itch. We all felt that nudge to start serving. And I don't know when it was for each and every one of you, but I remember specifically, I was standing like right over here somewhere at the altar, and I remember the service. I remember what pastor preached and how he prayed for me at the altar, but I had been wrestling with that decision for a while, right? And I was like, they got enough help. It's all right. There's a lot of people in here. But I was really wrestling, and it took me from 2019, to 2021. So in there, we had to go through a whole pandemic. But literally at that time, I was just working through that. Like, God, you're telling me I need to do more. But I'm also like, do I really want to do more? But in the end, God gets the glory. But it's that emphasis on serving. And it's when I began serving, that's when I saw life change. That's when I saw God unlock things that I've never seen in my life. And I know you guys all have serving stories, amazing things that have happened to you, funny things that have happened, just anything that has happened usually is tied back to serving. To be quite honest, we all have our own individual serving stories. But I think what's so important about serving in itself is that we get to make the mission and vision of this church happen.
Yes.
That's right.
It's people like us, the people that came before us that said yes to God's call that allowed us to get to 17 years of ministry. Somebody laid the groundwork back then so that I can step in and be a part of an organization that does something at the level that we do it. So it has been an amazing ride serving. But that's what I want to ask you guys a couple of questions about serving, because it has been quite the journey. Okay, I'm looking at each and every one of you guys. It has been quite the journey. And I know we all started at different points, but there's one thing that kind of ties it all together, is that when you are serving, you become a family. That somehow you can't explain it. It's like being in the trenches together sometimes. It's like we're battle buddies. And I want to ask you guys, your favorite or your funniest, whatever you like, your favorite or funniest serving memory. Think on it.
I think I already know.
Already.
So for me, it was Easter. I can't remember what year it was.
I know. I was going to
This
tell
is
that
going to be
story.
like on everybody's list,
Look,
by the way.
I think it was one of those Easters that we did 2 services.
I know it.
Back
Yes.
to back,
Yes.
right? We got here
Yep.
early. I think the night before there was preparations. There was long nights, right? And then it was just being tired, but still giving it your all.
The delusion.
Resetting, and then giving it your all again, and then afterward, just kind of like laying down afterward, like, oh my gosh, we made it.
Yeah, we made it.
And that's the thing about it, right? Like, we made it. We put our blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, and God brought us through, and we did it together.
Yeah,
Yes.
we sure did.
Can I give the details of that story, Jamel? Because I was front and center. So it's worship team is getting ready. We do have 2 services. I don't think it was Comeback King, but it was.
It was 2 years ago,
It was
and
2
what it
years
was
ago.
is we had a Friday service as well.
We had a
Friday
Good
service.
Friday
Yeah.
service. That's
so
what
that
it was.
that added to it.
That added to it. So we're between services, and I think we had maybe an hour and a half, and there was somebody going around with snacks, and we were taking care of the serving team, and there was a line forming outside.
Yes.
And we're refreshing the hair and makeup. We're getting ready to get on stage, and I'm like, where is Jamel? And everybody's like, where is Jamel? The countdown is going to start in about 3 minutes. No one can find Jamel. Jamel is behind the seats, laid out, stretching, sweating and stretching. He's like, I just sweating
and stretching, yep.
The doors are about to open. Jamel, get up. Mind you, we're supposed to be in the wings at this point. The music is about to play. The doors are about to open. I have never been so panicked. I'm doing this at the door, like, no, don't open it yet.
You can't catch a cramp on stage, right?
You cannot catch a cramp on stage. But that is literally one of my favorite because I was so panicked. And I'm like, I'm glad you're okay, but you need to get up. We have to get up. The doors are opening. But things like that happen all of the time.
Yes.
All of the time. You don't know what it takes to put on a service.
No.
I think at one point during Easter, me and Colleen met in the kids ministry hallway. I don't know if you remember that. We were just like, what's happening? Like, what's happening?
I believe it.
Even know what's happening.
I believe it. And I think those are some of the best ones. It's when we're putting our feet to the ground and we're serving our hearts out no matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
You know, and those are some of my favorite serving memories are those late nights. The nights where we're here till 3 o'clock in the morning, almost 5 o'clock in the morning, and people have no clue that we're putting on a service. We'll say, we'll see you in 2 hours. We're not even planning to sleep at that point. And it's so fun when you're doing it, even with new people, because there had been times I remember, because we're used to it, you know what I mean? And there's always somebody who's new to the bunch when those come around. With late building nights or what have you, and we're preparing for services. And I remember one time I walked into the back room and she was crying, and I was like, yeah, Brooke, I was like, you okay? I was like, it's okay, watch. Next year you're gonna rock it out. You're not even gonna feel it. And literally the next year she was right with everybody else, like, let's go. What do we need to do? You know, but that's the beautiful thing about it, because if you just stop right there, you'll never be able to stretch your capacity for what else God is trying to do in you and through you, but also through the ministry as well. And they have strengthened so many bonds and so many relationships, because we all know, and we joke about it all the time, like when it's too late, we get a little goofy.
A little.
And we start to lose our
The
feelings.
delusion is times 10.
Yes. We know it's
10
too
o'clock,
late.
Ursula.
And they're the best moments where eventually for an hour straight we're just laughing, crying at next to nothing. And they are the best moments.
I got to add to that, because that's exactly what happened at the first or the second The Dig Conference. I think it was the first The Dig Conference. So during the first The Dig Conference, it was special because all of the AV team was all the Uproar teens. So the teens were helping me, and we were doing good. Friday night, awesome. Saturday morning, great. Saturday afternoon, we started to get a little giggly back there. And at some point, we had people taking pictures and all. And we were just back there just giggling and just holding it together, because, yes, we were serving, but we were having a good time serving at that. So we were cracking on each other. And it was just a great opportunity, not just to serve, but also to have that with the teenagers and the young people. Because even though they're young, they love serving as well. So that was a great time for me.
And what's really cool, too, is when you think about it, and it's funny that this is kind of like the conversation that circled, because one thought that came to mind was a building night that we were doing. And so our pastor is a builder. And so it's not just building messages that are going to be transformational for years to come and generational messages, but even the physical building itself. It's gone through so many transitions and so many changes. And when we think about 17 years, when we think about just the time that we've been in this building, it's like almost a time capsule of the walls that have been painted and knocked down and built and all of that good stuff, stages and all of that. And I just remember there was one night, I don't know if you remember this, it's when our old, I think it was like our first time guest lounge, it was blue and it was in the center of where like the pantry is now. And all the lights were like off. I don't know why all the lights were off, but it was like 10 of us that was just in the room. And there were other people that were working around the building. And it was so late that we literally was just sitting there and somebody said something.
That's all
It
it
was
takes.
maybe like a hot dog, something.
That's
It was
all it
something
takes.
Out laughing or
very
something?
ridiculous, and we died for like 10 minutes. Like no one could get it together, and I think it was like a kid. A kid came in and did something, and it was just like the laugh attack just kept going, and then I'm laughing at you laughing, so
so
I
hard.
can't stop.
Oh, gosh.
And now it's just this laugh attack that happens. And it was at that moment we were like, all right, it's time to like close the
gotta go
building. We have service tomorrow morning. It was one of those like Saturday nights. We need to be functioning for the guests.
Yes.
And then we all come in the next morning. Hey, good morning. How are you doing? We have big smiles, big hugs. Little do you know, we slept for 30 minutes, if that, the night
Literally.
before.
Literally.
But when you talk about serving, it's not just on the Sunday, right?
Yeah.
It's on all the days that lead up to the experience.
Yeah.
And we care so much about the people coming in that it's worth me staying to paint a wall to make sure that you have a great guest experience.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
it's those sacrifices that we make that are really cool.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Do you guys remember? And I want to ask you each if you remember like a specific last-minute building project that
All of them.
all of them. But I remember one specifically, and I think Modesty pointed it out the other day. It had to be Easter. I think we were doing a stage redesign.
Yes.
I was building that
Yes.
gigantic picture box.
Photo
We were
booth.
painting. We were putting up TV.
We
There was
had
one
new
Easter-
gear apparel.
we had new gear.
yep.
Listen, we were doing 4 things on the biggest Sunday of the year, and half of it was like putting up these lights.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we talk about like being in church and being in up here late, but I remember you and I, Modesty,
We were together.
we locked in,
were
okay?
to-
We were
even
together.
The night before, I remember the night before. I don't know what I was doing, maybe working on videos, but you were working on the photo booth outside. And I saw you outside, and I was like, you here? You're like, yeah. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We just here.
Cool.
We're just
We was
here.
here. It was the moon was shining high. The
Yes.
air was clear.
Beautiful
I
night.
remember vividly. It was 4:30 a.m. I was on the ladder putting the last finishing touches on the box. Right? You guys all know the box story.
Yeah,
Okay?
the box
met its untimely demise. It blew down the street. One person got to take a picture in it. One person. But that's
person.
all it takes.
Only
because
one.
That's what you do it for.
Yes.
If
That's
one
right.
person
That's
comes to
right.
Christ, if one person comes to take a picture in the box, my work has been done.
I'm
But-
blessed to have the visual of watching
You had the
it.
visual?
I have the visual.
I
I,
didn't
ran
even
after
see
it.
it. I just remember I remember everyone coming up to me with these shocked and horror faces, and they're like, Amaris, I have something to tell you. And I'm walking with Pastor Brenda Lott, and they're like, the box didn't make it. The box didn't make it. And I'm just like, I don't know what
Box
you guys are
gate.
talking about. The box is gone. It's just
gone.
broken pieces. They carried it off like, what do you call those people that carry the coffin?
Oh,
They had
the-
6 of the parking lot, got the armor
The
bearers, the
pallbearers.
pallbearers,
Pallbearers,
just holding the
yeah.
poor box down the street. But all that to say, it was worth it.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I had peace. I was not upset in the slightest. I might have been delirious because I was tired, but I was not mad because I was like, you know what? The Lord asked me to do this thing. I probably bit off more than I could chew, but I got it done. I got it done. I got it
Yes.
done. And it served its purpose for that one person.
For that
Yeah.
one
That's right.
person.
But is there a building last minute project that you all remember? And we pulled it off without no one being the wiser. You have one?
I don't have.
Go ahead.
All of them we pulled off.
Yes, that's
Like,
what
it's,
it is.
it's hard.
Literally
it's hard
all
to,
of
it's hard
them.
to pick one
Yeah.
to choose one. It's
Yeah.
hard to choose one. Other than like our pastor is so amazing, but his big buildings come before big events.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's like
Absolutely.
we have no choice but to pull together and make it happen. And I think you made a great point where it's like that's where you start to build these really cool like relationships because you're next to someone doing a hard task that you may not serve with all the time or you may not even really get to know. And that's where you start to find out like really cool stories of people's journey and how they found the church. And it's really neat to see that. But
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah.
I remember one specifically when we added in, I think it was 1 or 2 lights. And Modesty, do you remember when those lights started going off?
Yes.
I think they started flashing over
Over
there
here,
at
yep.
first, and then
Was
afterwards.
this in service?
This was right before service.
Believe it or not, this story, your box story, and the Jamel story laid out all the same
Easter.
Easter.
Oh,
wow.
It was all the same Easter. It was Good
Easter?
Friday. It was Good Friday that started happening and
Uh-huh.
went all the way up until the second Easter service. Because the first Easter service, the lights were going crazy
Yes.
But here's the thing. I loved how Pastor hopped in because he
Yeah,
was like, you know what,
yes.
let's go ahead and disconnect this. His mind is so amazing, right? He worked it out and said, all right, if we can't get everything to work, let's make sure that we get, these specific lights working.
Yes.
And he hopped in, we got up on a ladder, we took out some XLR cables,
Yes,
and we
it was.
made it
Yeah.
work.
That's probably why you were laid out between services.
Look.
I remember now. That
And no
was
one's the
always-
wiser.
And no one
Until now.
All the secrets are out.
Behind the scenes.
But behind the scenes, that's what it takes. It takes amazing people that go that extra mile to pull off a service like this. There's so many things that can crash and burn and go wrong. But the serving team,
Yeah.
the
Yes.
serving team and everybody's willingness to go above and
it.
beyond
Yeah.
is what makes this ship float.
Yeah, that's
Can I-
right. That's
Can I
right.
tie in something really quick too? Because this is it's not just in the building that we have to get things done,
Right.
and sometimes it's in a short manner.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it's things that are happening out in the community, and our pastor's like, we have to be there.
Yeah.
We have to go.
Yeah.
Because of what God has commissioned us to do.
Yeah.
Like, we need to be mobile and moving.
Yeah.
So, like, I remember when there were different things happening in our city with, like, police brutality and things
Yep.
of that nature. And our pastor said, our community's problems are our problems.
Absolutely.
And so we have to mobilize now. So let's get some waters. So we started going around to different grocery stores and grabbing cases of water. I think we had like hot dogs, and we were sending out letters to everyone who's in our database, and it was like, hey, we're going down to City Hall. We're, handing out waters.
Yep.
Come join us. Let's be a part of a cause.
Yeah.
And it's certain things like that as well, where it's like, it's not just the building, but it's the things that we're doing outside of the building
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that's quick, in a hurry. We don't have a lot of time to plan,
Yeah.
but God's given us everything that we need. So
Yeah.
let's do it.
That's
There's
right,
actually
that's right.
another outreach story that I loved personally, because we've done a lot of outreach over the past 17 years that I've been a part of. But one that stuck out to me was, I think it was 2023. And if you all remember, there were shootings in Brooklyn Homes.
Yes.
And we went that week to go help Brooklyn Homes. But the thing that stuck out to me the most was that the place that we went to have maybe a block party. I think it was a Stop the Violence block party. Pastor took us to where he lived in Brooklyn Homes.
Yeah.
And it was around the same place where the shootings took place. And he showed us where he lived for most of his life. And that made it more apparent to me because, we've been a part of the church, and I've been a part of the church for 17 years. But to see that Pastor grew up in the same exact place that we've been helping for
That's right.
17 years was major for me.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely. Now, speaking of the serving team, because we have an absolutely amazing serving team, and one of the beautiful things that we said is how, because we get to serve together, we all get to learn so much about each other. So I don't know, we got a couple of minutes, but I want to do a quick speed round. All right, I'm going to ask a couple of questions or pose a couple of questions, and I want to see who comes to your mind and why. All right. So the first one is, the person most likely to save the day is
Tiara.
Tiara.
Hands down.
Yes.
Tiara has saved me time and time again.
That's right.
Tiara.
That's right.
Batteries, printing paper. Anytime I'm like, man, we ran out. I can go to the store.
Water bottle label.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
doing it. Multifunctional.
Yeah.
Good
Shout
shit,
out.
girl.
Hey.
Shout out.
Yes.
Shout out to Tiara.
Yeah. All right. The person most likely to arrive early is.
Modesty.
Modesty.
Hey, me.
Modesty.
I'm just
in
here.
the building.
I live here. You
That's
dwell.
right.
In the building.
That's right.
I'll take it.
All right.
Modesty might not have even left the
This
building.
is
That's
I
right.
know.
I did it.
You
I
can't
did
not
it.
arrive early if you didn't leave.
The dig,
That's what it
Easter,
is.
I was just here.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
what
just
it is.
here.
That's
There's
what it
a
is.
couch in the VIP lounge. Definitely
Napped
slept
your
on.
couch.
Definitely napped on that. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not
That's
even
right.
gonna lie.
All right. The person most likely to make everyone feel welcome is.
Colleen.
Colleen.
Touche.
You.
Yes.
Take
You.
Yeah, I get excited. I get excited
Yes,
to see
yes.
people. Absolutely.
I love people, man. It's one of my favorite things to do. I mean, I understand, we have the amazing calling on our lives to be able to speak and to do all these different things, but honestly, serving at the door is my
Yeah, we can see
favorite
it.
thing to do. If I could just give hugs all day, I am on cloud nine. So,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, I'm going to do one more, okay?
Okay.
The next one is the person most likely to turn a small idea into something major.
Ursula.
Yeah.
Has to be Ursula.
Yeah?
Yes.
Me?
There have been
Explain.
many times. I know
Please,
when
tell
we've
me
been
more.
like trying to plan special services, right? We'll kind of give a few little ideas, and then Ursula will be like, let me think on that for a second. And then next thing you know, it turns into this big, grand idea. That's all Ursula every day.
I'll take it.
Hey.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I like it. I like it.
Let me get one more, Colleen.
All right, one more. All right.
These are
one
fun.
more.
Yeah,
I know
they're
they
fun.
are.
We
They
can-
are.
let's-
They
Let's do
are.
a couple. Let's do a couple.
Let's try to think of some home team members too.
Yeah.
Nighters and
Yeah.
all.
All right, so the person most likely to say yes before hearing the full assignment is, and this one I thought of Tiara,
Before hearing the full assignment,
or Raquel.
if I can be honest, I'll
Ooh.
answer, but you go ahead
Go ahead.
first.
No, go ahead.
I would honestly, for certain reasons, I would say Caden because he doesn't let me finish talking. He's like, okay. I'm like, let me finish before you go on. He's
don't know
like,
what you're
ready.
agreeing to.
Yeah, you don't know what you're agreeing to.
I like it. I like it. All right, the person who stays calm when everyone else is stressed out.
Ooh. Are we all crash outs? Is that what we just
No, we're not confirming that. We do not
So what
confirm.
just
We are
happened?
not all crash outs.
to stay
To
Jalen?
stay calm.
I mean,
Okay.
You think? Think about it.
Touche.
Think about it.
Touche.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
You're not gonna
All
get
right.
above a
Touche.
three.
All
This
right.
is true.
Because he's not gonna show a lot of emotions.
Right.
He might be angry and stressed, but he won't like show it.
Right.
You know?
Right. Okay. I'll give him
Immediately.
Touche.
I'll give
Maybe.
him
touche.
Hey, if you guys got
Default
something else,
personality,
somebody
I like
else.
it. I like it.
Default.
Look,
give him
I
that.
will say this. I am so happy to be able to serve with you all. God has allowed for us to, allowed for all of our unique abilities
Yes.
to be able to see, and especially through serving through those long nights, and especially during COVID, right,
Yeah.
where things seem very uncertain.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful that Pastor had the mindset, the leadership to be able to still connect us,
Yeah.
and made a way for not just us to stay connected, but also the rest of the church, and also for the world, our
Yeah.
community,
Absolutely.
to be able to get a fresh word,
Yeah.
a fresh word
Right.
every
Sure.
Yeah.
single
Every week.
week.
Yeah.
When churches were closing down, when people were uncertain about if they were going to be able to survive, right? Thank God he made a way. He used our ministry to not only feed the community, but also to spiritually feed them
Yeah.
as well. Let me
Absolutely.
ask you all a question. What do you all remember first about serving when it came to COVID, in COVID?
I just remember how quickly everything came together. It all seems
Yeah.
like it happened so fast, but it did happen fast. But as soon as we got word to what was going on, Pastor immediately came up with a plan. Like, all right, so this is what we're going to do. Boom, I'm going to
Yeah.
record 8 services back
Yeah.
to back to
Back
back to
to back.
back. Worship. Y'all are going to record a bunch. This is what we're going to set up the war room. We're going to do this. Like, he just laid it out, and we all put pedal to the metal and just got it together and banded together. And it worked. We made it work.
worked.
It
Yeah.
worked.
I think it was all of those like different building nights and projects. It all kind of prepared us
Yeah.
to mobilize quickly.
That's true.
And I think that's just like the testament of our ministry. Like we really don't wait. When things happen, we're moving.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have to say for me, it would have to be when we were trying to figure out like what we were going to do from an outreach perspective.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do we need to do to make sure that our home base is taken care of?
Yeah.
Because we do a lot of work in the city, and we always say when Owings Mills has a need, then we'll rise up to meet that need, whatever that need is. And I remember him saying, "We're opening up a pantry," and I feel like we were all like, okay, so let's talk about this. What are the logistics? How are we going to do this? And it was so cool because we had so many people who were serving at the time that said, I'll go grocery shopping, right? Like, I will put my health on the line to go into these stores.
Yeah.
And although they're only going to let us get like 5 cases of water, I'm going to go to this grocery store at this time, then I'm going to go to this grocery store at that time.
Yeah.
Everybody had their checklist. We had our Cash App, and we're like, okay, we're sending you this, we're sending you this, we're sending you this. And it was all organized. And we came in here, we had bought some new like stands
Yep.
that we were just stacking shelves of like
Yeah.
all different things. We had assembly lines to get things into bags and to get them out the door. And so it was just so much that was built around the service, but then so much that said, but outreach is still our DNA.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Can I tell you I was on the other end of one of those shopping trips?
Yeah.
So I wasn't serving yet because, one, it's a testament to what we created in COVID, right? 2020 church was closed. We recorded all the messages. But I started serving off of watching online.
Yeah.
And the minute we had the opportunity to come back in, I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. But I remember seeing Kendra at a Walmart, and she had a box full of macaroni, and I was like, hi, how are you? I was like, you go to Uproar, right? And she's like, yeah. And she's like loading it in the cart. And I'm just like, okay, well, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. At no point did I know you guys were planning for the pantry.
Wow.
But like, I just remembered her face and like the 32 macaroni she had in the cart. And I just was like, okay.
You
but
thought
then
she was hoarding food.
I didn't know what was happening. But I heard it on one of the sermons that you guys had a drive-through pantry. And I was like, that's amazing. And then I put 2 and 2 together, and I was like, oh, they're doing something. We're out here doing something. So it is really a testament to what the ministry has built, because look where that has gotten us, and look who that has gotten us.
I didn't even know that story.
Ah,
that is
that's
such
hilarious.
that's such a cool story.
Yeah.
To be honest, because we had to the T 31 macaroni and cheeses, like spreadsheets galore. It was a lot of fun though.
That was it. It was a whole team, right?
That's
Going
right.
out, as you said, to different grocery stores.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you all, what kept you all going in an uncertain time?
I would have to say that it, and I go back to it because, to be honest, when I first started coming here, the family is what got me. And the family is what has been keeping me. I know that when COVID began and everything was shut down and everything seemed uncertain, I know the one thing that was consistent about this ministry was the family of it. So whatever we were doing, it was going to be fun. It was going to be something that we did together. And yes, there will be sleepless nights and crazy things, but even during the recordings, we had a bunch of fun.
Yeah.
I remember in the in-between times, mostly I was stressed, because I was working on the scriptures that pastor would have to preach, but then all around me were people laughing and singing, and my brother reminded me we were doing conga lines. I don't remember that.
I remember
but
it.
I don't remember that, but even just that, knowing that even in the midst of uncertainty, one thing was for sure was that we were going to continue to preach God's word, do outreach, and have fun while doing it.
So good, so good.
That's right.
And Ursula, I was thinking about with UCare, right? So many people were competing for resources. How was it, that we were able to, we were feeding people with pallets of food, fresh groceries. How did we do that?
Yeah. It was a team effort. It was truly a team effort. So not just people going out and going grocery shopping, but there were relationships that we had built before going into the pandemic with like Maryland Food Bank and with H&S Bakery and others, where we already had these relationships. And so we're like, hey, what can we do to make sure that the people who are depending on this can actually get the resources that they need?
Yeah.
Because there were people that were being laid off in the middle of the pandemic because either their companies couldn't sustain employing people when everything was shut down, or there was just so many things that were happening right here in our own backyard. And it was, hey, we're sending people out to get all of the things that we need, but we're also leveraging our relationships so that we can ensure that everything that we need, we have it. We had fresh produce. We had things that like other ministries and other organizations were not doing. And it was actually really cool because I think after like a month of us doing it, you started to see like different other organizations start to have their drive-through pantries, and we were like, that's great.
Amen.
Because
We did it first.
listen, we have amazing givers. We have an amazing church who sows into what we are doing in the community. But after a while, like, it starts to tap the well a little bit because it's not inexpensive. And if you know anything about our pastor, if we got to let the building go in order to feed people, the building's got to go because we got to feed people.
Yeah.
And so it was cool to see that we were an inspiration to other organizations to get them to get in on the action of serving our community.
Yes, that's what it's all about.
That's it.
Making sure that the people, the least, the lost, and the left out, they are seen, that they felt seen. And there are a lot of things that we continued after COVID. It got started in COVID. The food pantry is still going, right? What are some other things that continued after COVID, that we started in COVID that's now continuing today?
Yeah, streaming has started. And just I just say the consistency of the church. I was thinking about a little bit just what we talked about at the top of just our stories when we came into the church. Everybody mentioned that this church was just different. The lights were different. There's diversity in the church, and everything was just different. And I think a lot of times we get stuck on one way of worshiping God or one way of doing things when it comes to having a relationship with God. But just being open to that diversity has allowed us to build this family and build this church. A couple weeks ago, Pastor taught a message on Joseph, and he talked about how Joseph had a coat of many colors. But the thing is, what God does in each and every one of our lives, our dreams are always diverse. Just like Joseph's coat was diverse, that's what God does. And through this diverse church, we have built this amazing family. So I'd say that would be my takeaway from that. But with that, I want to ask a question about just the family of it, because we've all built relationships through the family of Uproar. Talk about some of the relationships that you've built that you probably wouldn't have built outside of this church.
I think, I'm trying to think through it. The beauty of it is when you serve alongside people, you don't know what people do in like regular life, right? And I think that's the beauty of it, because we're working alongside nurses and doctors and lawyers and people who handle millions of dollars. And when it comes down to it, we're here together to make the mission and vision happen. And I think one of the special things is, and I have to shout out the creative team, okay? Just whoever's on it, all of the people at all time, if you've come through the creative team, you are my people. And I think what I started to realize was people have so many gifts and talents that they're not always utilizing in their everyday lives. You have to be the businesswoman, you have to be the mom, you have to be the XYZ, but then you come here and you have a chance to use some of those God-given talents that you've never been able to tap into. It's just been a hobby. I remember specifically when I met your wife, we were doing a redesign of the kids ministry nursery. Remember it was jungle themed?
Yeah.
And this is the first time I met Adiva. We were twisting the vines to make the vines in the ceiling. And I was like, hi, my name is Mary. She's like, I'm Adiva. And we started the thing, and everybody was like, oh, do you guys know each other? I was like, nah, I just met her right here. This is my homie, but this is my first time meeting her. But it goes to show just like being put in the right position, in the right place, being planted in the right house, it fosters those friendships. It fosters those relationships that you now get to cultivate and you get to grow. That was years ago. How many other projects have Adiva and I worked on? How many other people have we interacted with, and we find ourselves next to someone and we're like, hey, you got the same goal as me? I have the same goal. Let's make it happen. And you get to see something beautiful in that creativity as you serve. So Adiva's one of the examples, because I remember that it just popped into my head. Like, we were twisting vines and hanging trees and all kinds of craziness back there. But that's how you are able to meet people.
Absolutely. That's good.
I would say my relationship with Jalen. Right, we have this common bond, this common love for music. And I remember, I think during like the pandemic times, before I was trying to create beats, and I had I was creating beats, and next thing you know, I brought up my beat machine, and Jalen and I are over there just making beats together and figuring it out. And I love that just being inside the room, being inside the house, you get to experience people that have similar goals, similar loves, similar interests that you do, and then after you kind of start to create together and foster this new partnership.
Absolutely. That's good. That's amazing.
I would have to say my relationship with Modesty.
Hey,
like I guess we've been together and been doing this for so long. Like, she really is the heartbeat outside my chest. She really is. And I think we've had so many beautiful, fun situations, and then just the beauty of watching, the kids grow up with Modesty, because she used to babysit them when I moved to Owings Mills. Because, of course, I came like right when the church moved to Owings Mills. I followed right behind the church. And so Modesty would help, and she would watch them. And they became, you can't tell them they're not blood. And I think the most hilarious thing is they all have the same last name. It was meant to be. That's what I say. That's what I say. But it's really a family unit, and I'm so happy that they have her, and I'm so happy that I have her in my life as well. But that's the biggest thing, the biggest best relationship. So
And honestly, I have to echo that because I don't know if you remember this. I don't know. When we had our women's ministry retreat.
yes,
You remember the story?
I remember those.
And, I'd like to, in the past, like, mess with Colleen and be like, well, leave me alone. Like, I'd play hard to get. But I did love her. That's just my personality in general. I do it with the kids now. Like if Kamaya says something like mushy, I'm like, don't do too much. Like, but I love them dearly. It's just my personality. And I remember I took a selfie with her at the retreat, the women's ministry retreat. And I put the Instagram post with something like, she's the big sister I wish I had, but don't tell her that, or something like that. And she like went crazy over that. I was like, please.
I did.
You got a little bit from me.
I still got the screenshot, and every time I come across it, I send it to her. Like, remember this?
Yeah.
You love me.
But it's the same thing with the kids too. And I share the story of how, I have 3 blood brothers, no sisters. And I always used to pray for a sister, always. And, Kamaya came around, and when I used to watch her, because we have the same last name, she would tell people that, oh, yeah, this is my sister. I'm like, I don't know this girl. I just watch her. But it started to be that. And it's a testament to how God will always give you the desires of your heart, because I always wanted a sister, but I never knew it would be through Kamaya, Yeah. So it's even in serving that God knows exactly what you need. And if you just stick with it, you're going to get it. It may not be how you thought it was going to be, but you're going to get it. So
I think I heard the pastor say everything is in the house.
everything is in the house. Everything is in the house.
Yes.
Amen. But I love the relationships that we get to build, because even with your story, Amaris, how you were able to build a relationship with somebody who you probably wouldn't have built with, that gives us more capability, I guess you can say, to spread the gospel. Because if you're just talking to the people who you naturally click with, you're not able to kind of see lives change through that. It's when we bring that together and have that diversity and have that, if I can say, practice with diversity, we can then see lives change for the better, because we're taking that outside of the church. So.
Absolutely.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. And not just taking it outside of the church, but it's taking it in every single area that we walk. Our entire journey. What it is that we've built here, what it is that we've been a part of and had a chance to give ourselves to, has really formed something that I know God is proud of. And when we get a chance to kind of stretch out our arms and do all of the things that tie our mission together, that tie our vision together, that ties just who our pastor is, because ultimately he's given his life to this, and he has allowed God to use him in major ways, and we all get a chance to be a seat at the table as to what he's doing. And it's in these moments too, when we have all of these flashbacks of all the things that we've gone through, been through, the journeys, the highs, the lows. It gives us a chance to say, you know what? We're building something major.
Yes.
We're building something that God is smiling on. And we're building something that when we get to our end of the road, God's going to say, well done.
Yes.
Well done. And so it's just encouraging when we hear these like different stories that we can call back, and I'm sure there's so many more, that it really just hones in that even though you don't see the impact all the time right away, it is having major impacts across our city, across our community, across those who serve alongside us. There's real change that's happening. And so
That's right.
if you guys ever think that you're not making a difference, you are.
I love it.
And I think sometimes you have to look back at like the bigger picture, right? If you're looking at it or progress from week to week to week, you might miss it.
That's right.
But when we get to sit here, right, when we get to sit down and reminisce and think back on all of the different years and add the different stories up together, you get to see God's faithfulness. You get to see God still moving in the midst.
Amen.
That's right. That's
And
right.
speaking of the big picture, what is something that each of you would want to see in the next 17 years?
The next 17 years, I like to say, we already say like Uproar is a household name, right? But just the same mission and vision that Pastor had, but like amplified.
Yeah.
So I love, what gets me going is when he talks about building rec centers and having the service playing in different places. I want us to be not even multi-campus, but also like just mobile.
Yeah.
We can pick up and go and take the church. The church doesn't have to be these four walls. It's
Yeah.
wherever the people are. I'd love, and we joke about it sometimes, but like Uproar in another country.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I had volunteered for like Uproar Japan.
I got
we
Uproar
all had our-
Cancun.
Yeah.
You had
No,
Cancun.
no, you
So
had Japan. I had Cancun. Yeah.
everybody had their own area, but international. I want to
Yeah.
see us
Yeah.
doing things that is affecting change, not just here in our neighborhood and our home, but well beyond us.
Yes.
Places we may never even set foot on their soil, but Uproar has impact there through our mission, through our vision, through our giving. So I can't wait for that because I know it's
Yeah.
going to happen.
That would be mine too. Actually, I don't even know how many years ago now, but I believe it was for a pastor appreciation. One of them, I had gifted pastor a glass globe, and I had the inscription on it, "The world is waiting for you, and we would be honored to share you with them." And he still has it on his desk till this day, and that's exactly what I can't wait, because I know it's going to happen. I can't wait to see that in the next the next 17 years, because, you know, we have had the honor of just being able to hear his mission, his vision, and to live it out, to serve it out right along in the trenches with him. And it has been such a blessing, but there is so much more that we know that the world needs and is ready to experience through what he's doing. And so I'm just excited for them to get to meet the pastor that we know. You know what I mean? Because he will blow their minds. He will change their lives, you know, whether it's from a word, whether it's from an action or what have you, whether it's from what he's going to do in their communities. I'm just excited for the world to get to know the pastor that we know.
Yeah.
And I echo that because that's actually the same thought that I had when Pastor was preaching at the Potter's house.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm excited for people to see you. Like, I'm not even nervous for you. I know you got this.
Yeah.
And that was my thought. But to answer your question, I would say I would love just to see the things that Pastor says time and time again here on stage happen.
Yeah.
The rec centers in Baltimore
Yes.
happen. The building that we're going to get eventually happen. The just the things that he constantly says, that the visions that he has for even human trafficking and being able to help the women. Like, I'd love just to see, oh, this is what Pastor talked about, and we're living in it. Like, and that takes, you know, us getting behind the giving, getting behind the serving, and getting behind the vision of Pastor ultimately.
Yeah.
Getting behind the vision is not just being like, yeah, that sounds good. It's putting yourself into it and
Yes.
doing it and helping make it happen, because we all have something that we can give to push the ministry forward, and it's starting to serve so you can find what that thing is and how you can help. So that's what I
Yes.
would love to see.
I know our pastor has a heart for the next generation, right? He always talks about he has that same fire that he's had when he got saved at 19. And for me, I want to see not just this generation, but the next generation, the Uproar kids generation, right, with that same fire, that same that fire to cause an uproar until his kingdom comes. That's what I want to see in the next 17 years. Kids walking around saying, "Hey, I'm going to Uproar this Friday," right, at those rec centers. "Hey, join me at Uproar. We're going to play some basketball," whatever it is. But I want to see that next generation with that same fire that our pastor's heart has.
Amen.
Amen.
I agree.
That's right. That's right. And I mean, you guys stole all of mine, so I'll just piggyback on to it. But really, the rec centers, right? Because it's not just going to be a center where we can have services, but it's all throughout the week. There can be things that are happening to make the communities better. So mentorship programs for the kids who may have mentorship in school, but may not have that support at home. So bring your homework in, right? We'll have volunteers there that can sit down and go through your homework with you. And while you're doing that, your parents could be on a whole nother floor getting the resources, health screenings, job applications, studying for their GED, whatever that is, on a whole nother floor. So the family is coming as a unit, and it's a holistic experience that they're having.
Love that word.
And at the same time, introduce different sports that they don't have access to,
Yes.
right? Pickleball is becoming huge.
Yeah, it's
I'm not a fan, but listen, it sounds like it's something that's taking legs and running. So giving them access, lacrosse, things that they typically wouldn't have access to, giving them exposure.
I love that.
And taking them on like doing so much that it just transforms the whole family unit. And once you start transforming one family unit, then it's the next one, then it's the next one.
Yeah.
And before you know it, revival has taken place across our city.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Well, like looking back, this was so fun.
Yeah.
And looking back, it's beautiful to see that it's not just about the events. It's not just about the services. It's not just about the conferences. It's not the late nights. You know, we've had so many great late nights. We've had so many great early mornings, you know. There is so much that has taken place throughout this ministry that has built what this is now based off of exactly what Pastor had designed it to be. And all of that was only possible because of each and every person's yes, each and every person's yes. And it's the beauty in that sacrifice, because that's what allows us to truly strengthen our relationship with God and see him move in our lives and so many other lives that may not even walk through these doors, who may have been blessed through the outreaches, who may have been blessed through the giving or the food pantries or the drive-through pantries or what have you. But I think the beautiful thing about it all is we have an amazing pastor, Pastor Jet. And I just want to take a moment to thank him for his sacrifice, for his leadership, for his determination, for his yes. Because without his yes, none of us would be here right now in this moment. And if I can be honest, there are so many people who wouldn't be where they are as well without his yes. And so we want to thank him. We want to honor him. We want to celebrate him. And we are excited to see what the next 17 years is going to look like. And so if you want to join us in celebrating this 17 years, but also sowing into the next, we encourage you, and we would be honored for you to join us in sowing our anniversary seeds. And so there are multiple ways that we have that you're able to give. In the seed, you can either sow $170 or you can sow $1,700. But we always say it's whatever that God puts on your heart, because whatever you sow, we know he will bless you because of your sacrifice and because of your giving. And of course, I want to thank everybody up here. You guys, this was fun.
So much fun.
This was fun.
We had a good time.
Yes. We got to do it again.
Yes, we have
to
to
do it again.
Next year, 18,
Next year.
we'll be an adult.
That's right. That's
The
right.
church will be an adult.
That's right.
Absolutely. But guys, we can't just end like that.
That's right.
You know what we gotta do.
You know what we got to
You know what
do.
we gotta do.
You know what
Bring
we
it
gotta
in.
do.
All right, we
Let's
gotta
do
bring it in. We gotta bring it in.
Wow, this is struggling, guys.
All right.
This
go
is
from
a
here.
struggle.
Okay. On 3. This is
is
what
what
we
we
do.
do.
1, 2, 3. This is what we do.
Woo!